Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, liberating, and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, ImperialDane, the one, the only master of propaganda. Off you turn the liberating and amazing match here on Taranto Coastline. In the east stands Delirious, fighting for America, freedom, democracy, straight into Armoured, with an assault engineer opening here, not the more typical Jeep one, but then again, this is more of a close quarters map, so the Jeep probably isn't too great for this. But I'll wait, Delirious off here for freedom, democracy, the 91st Infantry Division. There goes on engineers out here. In the southwest stands, of course, me, the ImperialDane, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 90th Panzergrenadier Division. No battle group chosen yet, but I will be going for Breakthrough. In particular on this map, I tend to find MP40 Grenadiers are nearly indispensable. So, off to the race we are here. Dull Pioneer Grenadier start, my favourite opening here. I tend to perform well with it. I know some players like the Ketten crowd, but I don't know why, but I just don't do well with it. As always, though, big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters and the continued support of the Propagandacast and its glorious war efforts. A big thanks to all those wonderful people. Others can join the ranks by Patreon. Links in the description. But anyways, let's get off to the action here. Scouts heading northwards, Pioneer heading eastwards. Second Grenadier Squad here on the way for me. Delirious with the assault engineers out there. Note in the United States Army, assault engineers were a specialist sort of detachment or battalion level detachment. They could sort of attach with divisions that needed it. So, little fun fact there.
Send meat bag.
South here, sandbags up here by the southern field point. Second Grenadier Squad over here for the Fastland with their Kar-90K bolt action rifles. Scouts probing northwards. Point there being ceased. Second Rifle Squad here for Delirious. Sandbags here. Never hurts to have some good position, particularly with the Grenadiers. That's like one of your main advantages. The Wehrmacht is your mainline infantry. Can lay down sandbags unlike any other troops. Bit of a callback to Companies 1, where also Wehrmacht pretty much had that ability as well. They Fultz Grenadiers even could also lay down sandbags. So, third Grenadier Squad here for me, very quiet otherwise. Bit engaged in the south between the Pioneers and the Rifle Squad, obviously big retreat here, but my main effort will be in the north. Typically I find on Taranto, you want to be as much as possible focused in the north. You want to be careful about getting too sucked into the south here. Can end up being a bit awkward for you. Third Grenadier Squad on the way here. Die dritte Grenadiergruppe for the Faserland. And can also start upgrading my men here with the MP40s. Die Maschinenpistolen 40. Looks like a mind engagement about to break out. We've got Rifle Squad caught out there, but the Grenadiers shots being fired here right into their backs, falling back rapidly. Damage being inflicted. Assault engineers here by the northern field point here. But overall, you can see here he's a bit more spread out across a larger part of the map, whereas again I've sort of, got a bit more focused edge here towards the north field point. South side here we got the MP40 Grenadiers. We're going to try and close in the Rifle on the south, take it on their own. Meanwhile, going to try and outmaneuver here. In the south you can see sort of falling a bit back here. Assault engineers pushing in there with their grease guns, the M3. Pioneers definitely well by those, and assault engineers not standing much of a chance here. MD42 flying up from in the south here. MP40 Grenadiers pushing back the Rifle Squad, but we got another squad here for Delirious. And at the same time, it's also pushing for the points here with the Scout. Devious play up north here. The Grenadiers isolated from the other squad. I thought they could support each other here, but clearly that tree was blocking off more than I was actually anticipating. Which is a bit unfortunate. But great, of course, for Delirious. Gave some bit of a tactical edge there. MD42 almost done. And we can see he's actually about to cut off access to the northern resource points here for me. Grenadiers falling back here, hoping to buy some time here against Delirious, who's otherwise just really hitting hard in the south here. Pioneers swept away by the Riflemen like sand before a vacuum cleaner. That's swept away, isn't it? But you get the idea. Up north here, the fight continues. We've got flamethrowers up here. We'll need to withdraw this Grenadiers. In fact, I might suffer a wipe here because we're too slow here. Going for the officer quarters upgrade, but similarly, a bit late on this one, so this could end up being rather awful for me. Losing the Grenadiers here. We're also being then delayed in the upgrade. Nope, looks like the Grenadier makes away here. Jürgen runs as fast as his little legs can carry him. MP40 Grenadiers with the Rifle Squad close. We've got a squad moving in here. Could catch the Grenadiers in retreat here. Will Delirious manage it?
Upgrade complete.
Oh, looks like... No! One man just sort of casually pulls the shot and wipes the Grenadier on retreat. painful. I do have 9 veterans in 1, but my grenadiers low on health, and also being already dragged into fight here, so really strong start here for Delirious and Democracy. Popping over to him, of course. We got the captain out there, very much standard party. The only major difference is that one assault unit squad he went for and gets a Pioneer wipe. Delirious is just on a roll here. Grenadiers wipe, Pioneers wipe. He's yet to suffer any wipes himself while having good map control. And he's cutting off on a resource. Well, in this case, the machine gun was able to catch up with the scouts, finally put an end to the reign of decapping there. This is just a strong start. Even got mines here from Delirious. Thumbs up, looking to further capitalize on a strong start and make it more difficult for me to get back onto the field. Beautiful play there by Delirious. Strong, solid, and focused. Motor pull up here, so likely a Greyhound. Of course, he could also go for BARs here. Some players, of course, will go for very fast bars. But in this case, the Delirious clearly wants a Greyhound to put more pressure on me. I do have the Panzergrenadier company on the way here. MP40 is on the way for the second squad. Pushing into El Capitan here, who's doing his best with a brown light machine gun. And a couple of flankies. Reinhardt there, though, ripped apart by the captain. MD4 further up north here, supported by the Pioneers. I wouldn't send the machine up that far in his zone like that. That's a bit too risky. Captain there pushed back by the MP40 Grenadiers. Pioneers setting up southwards.
The enemy is stealing our munitions points.
South here, you can see here, slight continued fallback here up north though. And here he's actually mining the center. Really good play here. Buying Delirious, a good spot to mine up here. So thumbs up to Delirious. Further up north, the machine gun is being surrounded by those infantry. Left to withdraw here. No doubt about that. Actually, I think it didn't have a Pioneer squad machine gun up there. Actually, that is my mind there. Making up things, unfortunately. Either way. Which in this case makes that machine gun move actually highly risky. Had Delirious that grenades up, I could have lost the machine gun up there. So that's a thumbs down to me. Absolutely unacceptable machine gun play there. South here goes for the Rav squad. Going for some Panzergrenadier because I do need more infantry. Current situation is just unsatisfactory with just 2 Grenadiers here. Some more Panzergrenadiers to make up for the losses here. I could go for Grenadiers, but a part of me just never feels particularly happy about replacing Grenadiers with more Grenadiers after a certain point. I'd rather push for Panzergrenadier. But I have a squad sent packing here. In the south, though, Greyhound wing 40 for the 91st Infantry Division. Going to cast the Grenadiers out in the opening, firing with his 30mm gun here. Blasting into those goddamn crowds. Eat shit, Kratz! 9, you eat Scheiße! God damn. These Germans are unreasonable. Unreasonable. So Grenadiers pushing northwards here, half 8 of it here too. Of course, the Greyhound will force me to go for Pack 40 as I'm nowhere near close to a Stu to have a chance dealing with it. So I'm going to have to go here for a Pack 40 to sort of have a chance of dealing with Delirious armored car. No further sign of anything, like say, not fast deploy. Could I actually had that ground out faster? That's a bit on the other side here. Strengthen the steel. There's definitely some things here that he could be picking to, I think, aid him a bit more at the moment. Far up north, though, the Panzergrenadiers meet their first successful engagement, force the Americans off the victory point here. But Delirious already is a fair bit ahead of me here. Fair bit ahead of me. Grenadier Pionier setting out, and there go the Panzerabwehrkanone 40. Around to support the men here. Incendiary White Fossils rounds. It does a bit of damage against the Greyhound. Not a lot, but hopefully enough to, like, you know, maybe make Delirious feels a bit concerned here. And not dive in hard here up north. Mine going off here. Obviously, at this point, I should probably start considering some minesweepers. Of course, I have no idea to the extent with which Delirious has mine, but, you know, see one mine, typically should expect more. Pack 40 on the move again, he's being blasted with the Greyhound. Pack 40 setting up here. Nope. Yeah, there we go. And there we go. Great shot on the Greyhound. Does quite a bit of damage here. Delirious, of course, proceeds to extract the Greyhound before it gets turned into scrap metal. When I'm about to hit the mine here with the pack crew, which takes no damage due to the gun shield. Like, these anti-tank can have some impressive gun shields, I would like to note there. They seem to take almost no damage from, like, anything from the front there. Doesn't matter if it's assault troops or miners, because even tanks, like, they can seemingly at times shrug off a lot of damage. I've noticed. We got field repairs here. Thumbs up, there's a very handy ability there. Further up north here, we got the Panzergrenadiers, the assault units, but the Greyhound, of course, here proves to be the element that tips the scale in favor of democracy. Once they're retreating there. South here, pushing out against the car points again here. But we got MP40 Grenadiers flanking around Delirious, looking to get some wipes, but also threaten his retreat path here. Machine gewehr setting out. I'm actually bringing another machine in because of the way that, you know, he's leveraging his infantry aggressively. So I'm bringing another MG42 here, just to help contain a bit the aggressive infantry faction here from Delirious. Plus, I'm concerned about a BAR here, and with the current amount of infantry I do have, I feel like a second MG42 will prove to be a crucial tool here to ensure I just don't get swept away. Captain forced off the field. That machine gun team moving forwards.
Damn it. Greyhound has been destroyed.
And the ground actually went down into the Pack 40. Clearly was not expecting that. It's a small win for me. And we do actually get the BARs up now here for Delirious. And a mortar. So now, of course, I've brought in a second ME42 mortars, of course, will be good. That said, it's actually becoming quite common for American players to just go for at least one mortar, but even in some cases, two mortars to help counter, for example, German machine gun play, because two mortars is quite good for it. And in particular, on a map like this, it is becoming, I think, fairly standard for American players as soon as you start seeing, like, you know, machine guns just go double mortars after a amount of time.
Mortar crew and tubes standing by.
Support elements up there for the Panzergrenadier Company. Swinging the Rifle Squad here with the Grenadiers, right into the ME42 here, though. North this one's penetrating further northwards here, but of course there's a second ME42 team ready now to meet them. Panzergrenadier advancing, though low in health. Particularly some of them are right ready to drop dead. Probably should pull them back for some healing here, to be honest. Breakthrough, they're being activated, just allow me to quickly gobble up as much terrain here. I'll switch back to my line perspective here. Got the mechanized assault group there lined up, and of course the rapid production ability, though for now I am planning Stugs, though that said, considering I haven't gone for any like medical stations, I could consider the mechanized assault group and actually push out that for an ambulance and use that for some for healing instead. That could be an option. Plus, you know, I still get the Starstruppen. That is something there worth considering. But Delirious here, definitely found himself a bit more on the back foot now. Quick steel hand grenade assault there. Wiping Delirious mortar crew there entirely. And closing in here again. MP40 Grenadiers, with like, you know, the opposite quarters I find tend to perform reasonable well versus Riflemen, particularly versus non-barred Riflemen. Of course, even to get bars, typically you can sort of get like a bit more veterancy ahead of them, which gives your Grenadiers a bit of an edge there with the MP40s for at least a while. They won't scale perfectly, in particular not versus upgraded Riflemen, but typically I find they just allow you to get somewhat under the Riflemen.
Will be deployed at the headquarters.
So I do like them for that purpose. Heading off to the Rifle Squad here, grabbing the machine gun here, point here with the machine gun give out. Set up there nicely. Pack remaining reserve. Medic's almost done. Stu closing in. At least I can build it soon. Still should pull back those Panzers for healing. Again, we got two members of the squad like ready to just drop dead at, well, the slightest provocation of the Americans. So definitely inefficient here play by me. I could have easily like avoided like a minimal like casualty there. I might still take even more losses here, honestly. So definitely not ace play there from the ImperialDane himself. Not ace play. South Grenadiers busy for the Vasaland. Closing on that Strug 3G. Of course, got one veteran free MP40 Grenadier squad, and of course that is like, you know, one of the reasons why the strategy can sort of work out well, because if you do hit those veteran free MP40 Grenadiers fast, you typically have a decent advantage. Partly because of all the offensive and defensive buffs they get, but also because they do get extra health on top of that. So they become relatively toughish while still being dealing like a fair amount of damage. And you'll typically do so at a pace where the American player will in most cases just have like veterans who are in their squads, maybe veteran 2 and some other upgrades. So I find that tends to be fairly useful for me at least. Tank depot there for Delirious, moving straight ahead for armor. Not a bad idea, of course. Not a bad idea. I mean, he could just try and hold up for the EC8, you know, maybe go for some Scots, but pushing ahead here, of course, with some armor before that, I think is fairly savvy. Going for the Stug 3G there. The Sturmgeschütz 3 as für G. We do, in fact, have Dulmors as well here for Delirious. The 91st Infantry Division. Mortifying down upon the Grenadiers in low and healthy. It should just retreat them at this point, honestly. Should just withdraw them. And just look at that, like, most of the Grenadiers are alive, but, you know, they're very narrowly holding on here to be alive. Panzer advantage to chop here alongside the Grenadiers here, right outside his base, machine gun placement is suppressing some of them. There you go, pinned down to the ground, just retreating. And certainly with the Armoured and saying companies, they definitely need to be paying fairly attention to like the health state of units, particularly more elite ones, because they can take a lot of damage. But at the same time, this means you sometimes need to be a bit smart about just healing them because they're also expensive to reinforce. Same applies, for example, to the Starstorm and the Fallschirmjägers. There you go, Sturmgeschütz 3 and G heading northwards for the Faserland. Early model by way of the Stuke 3G. Later models would have a more rounded gun mantle there, known as the Top Splendor. There's a variety of other additions and improvements. It's not uncommon for some of the later model Stukes have a coaxial machine gun on top of the one mounted on top there for a total of 2 machine guns. That's a fun side note there. Plus some later models will you've seen the Verteidigungswaffe there for self-defense on top of the machine guns. Assault Engineers about to get wiped out. That's going to be quite helpful for me and quite painful for Delirious if we were to lose his Assault Engineers down to 1 man here. Yeah, went down there.
Victory point lost.
Still Delirious is pushing back, but getting a wipe there does help me out just a bit here versus the Americans. Tank depot there. Standing at the ready, we got into tank support help deal with the Sturmgeschütz 3 von G. Second Stuke has also arrived here. Another Sturmgeschütz, and of course you had the Stuke 4, which was pretty much just the Stuke 3, but on a Panzer IV chassis. So basically a larger Stuke 3G. Though the Stuke 4 would also be based off the late model Stuke 3G there, as well as a quick side note. Fresh Pioneers have definitely suffered some hefty Pioneer losses, but they are fairly easy to replace, so it's not that big an issue. Of course, it would be preferable it could have spent the manpower on something else. Still here on the machine gun, pushing with the Stuke there, pushing up here with the Stuke as well there. Bit of mistake here, getting too close to Delirious, which allows him to pop an anti-tank gun possibly. Stuke taking a lot of damage with the anti-tank gun. Machine gun wiped out as well here. And the Stuke gets knocked out by a combination of mortar and anti-tank gun fire. A great kill for Delirious and a bit of a painful loss to me. Definitely shouldn't have pushed in the Stuke that far, but I honestly wasn't expecting the anti-tank gun, which, well, honestly, I should have. That was like just a massive mistake for me. We've got the MP40 Grenadiers closing in here though for the Fatherland. 29 kills. Going in hard, fast, and lethal here against the machine gun crew here, and getting a wipe. Popping in quickly. Recruit. And then go actually merge it up here, because while the MP40 guns, of course, still have all the veterancy bonuses, the machine will only have veterancy 1. So to help, ensure it doesn't get wiped out again, I quickly merge, because in that sense, even like 2-man Grenadier squads, effectively will be more survivable than the MD42 crew. Stuke the holding back, hit that one mine here, damage engine. Sherman will move here for Freedom Democracy, crashing through there. Mortars moving up here, good push by Delirious. I do think Delirious could do with a bit more infantry at this stage or something else to support his forces. Got Seek and Destroy, very good ability. Basically Blitzkrieg for the Americans. Straight at the Sturmgeschütz. Got the Pack 4 Neo machine moving up as well here. Stuke at risk, we got an anti-tank gun very close to it, but sensing an opportunity to flank up with the punch gun, his machine guns behind it. Stuke here getting damage, and down it goes the anti-tank guns. EC8 there getting shot at here by the Pack 40. Anti-tank crew there swinging up behind, or getting swung up here behind the Panzer gun Ds there. MD42 arriving as well here. Definitely not looking great here for Delirious anti-tank gunners. And there go, wiped out in a matter of moments. Pushing forward to the mechanized assault, rushing the mortar positions and the infantry. It's all about speed and aggression. And Bun Grenade goes off here. Pretty much well dodged there by Delirious. We got the Ace Grenades up support here, and as well here. Assault here up north, catching more momentum for the German army. Delirious men frantically trying to stop the attack here to halt the Germans from gaining any further ground. All Delirious at this point does have enough points now for the Sherman Comet group here. Pack machine pursuing here, and another Sturmgeschütz has arrived, the third one here. At this point, I have gone for the Panzergrenadier officer quarters because, if you're going for a lot of units from that building, you typically want the officer quarters upgrade. And of course, Stukes benefit from it nicely as well. The point-blank blast is really good. So getting immediate access to it is, well, really good. Plus, of course, my Panzer Grenadiers also benefit a bit hunting down that Sherman. I once it dead. More assault engineers here for Delirious to replace ones it lost so he can actually repair his tank. Route Squad there being absolutely hosed here by the MD-42. Sturmgeschütz pushing forwards, crashing through here a nearby shed or shack or storage place there. Sherman being hauled back into the base here. And I'm just diving in fairly aggressively, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure I'd actually be doing it, but I definitely just want to see if we can't finish off that Sherman and just accept the risk. Almost got it here, Stu, though. Not bouncing a lot of shots here. At least now there's a Sherman. Almost got the Sherman here. And there you go. Betty to getting this Duke Sherman down. But we got Americans on the flank. We got tank grenades here. Duke there's going to take a lot of damage, and it's down to just 10 points of health. Machine guns moving up here to support. We got Grenadiers retreating, just not going to pull up out here. Well, stick around there and try to hold out. But Delirious definitely found himself more and more in the defensive now, as I'm just adding up the pressure here, utilizing my assault infantry and of course also my assault guns. We just play aggressive, and of course this is all backed up by the MG42s. The south here, Grenadiers panzer moving up here, backed up by Pioneers and the MG42. Rushing everything you can northwards, machine force off here. Good grenade there from Delirious.
Infantry, get to cover.
Soldiers being caught here, and a tidal wave of German assault troops here, and of course the MD-42 here. Closing in here with the MP-40 Grenadiers, we got 32 kills here and 14. 32 on those panzers will definitely help out. Mortars there just need to get out of there pretty fast. Flanking around here. Well, he's trying to, but managed to apparently overlook that route squad here, which now pops a grenade in the retreats. Delirious, of course, is finding himself just being pushed further and further back into the base at the moment. Able to match the VR marked on the field here so far. Captain trying to flank in deep instead is caught by the machine guns and sent packing here. And we got another Stug on the way here. The other one got wrecked further up north here. Delirious definitely not happy about machine guns, and I do agree they do need to be nerfed. Yeah, I'm just like, slightly wondering at this point why he's complaining to me. So yeah, I'm pointing out here, it's like, rifle nulls like, a bit overtuned alongside those mortars. But yeah, I do agree though, machine guns, particularly the MD-42, do need to be toned down, and hopefully the June 6 patch will achieve that. But Stug pushing forwards here, gonna go for point blank blast. Go activate it. Doesn't quite hit on the first shot. Delirious doesn't retreat, and he's aware of it. Second shot whiffs as well. And you go Ralph got pushed back. Got to get a wipe here just to the sheer amount of firepower the Stug and the Grenadiers can fire into them. Nope. Looks like Delirious is able to save them retreat here. There's still 2 squads on the way here though. And I quickly pull back with the Stug. I don't want to risk getting double naded, and so risk another damaged engine. Meanwhile, I'm getting fairly close to the Tiger tank here, suddenly realise. Point blank blast being low up this time though. Bit better of a hit here. Interesting enough, Delirious split up his men there, which probably saved him from suffering in heavy loss. There we go. Point blank blast there, just really good Stug ability there. It's definitely one of the reasons I enjoy the Stug so much in Companies 3. It feels like an actual Stug. Mortar fire here, they're caught by the machine guns. Delirious himself, there we go, has gone for the Sherman EC8, bring in the big guns. For freedom.
Awaiting orders.
Stug hanging back here, but I am definitely going to be slowly moving towards that TIE tank. That said, until the TIE tank arrives, I am going to be at the mercy of this EC8. And it just races right ahead here. MD-42 being pushed back. Almost wiping out me entirely. Now the Stug on the way. Of course, at this point, I do realise, hang on, I'm not too far away from the Tiger tank, and I'm probably going to have a better success versus the EC8 with the Tiger tank at this point. I will be cancelling that Stug, I think, soon. South here, Delirious on the move again here. Panzer going to be being bombarded. Oh, I don't cancel the Stug? Oh, I do, just narrowly. Right before it actually gets on the field, I do manage to cancel it.
Victory point is under enemy control.
Delirious definitely has lost momentum in this, despite having a fair amount of infantry.
Reinforcement withheld, Commandant.
Machining gewehr falling back. As the riflemen push forwards. Freedom never sleeps. Sherman then engaging the grenades. We got Pack 45 away here. Haven't been able to use it for some time, so he probably forgot about it and proceeds to drive straight into it. Forcing away the Sherman here. North here, rifleman going easy finding out. And further up northeast, Stuke West rifleman again, point blank blast, just doing absolutely delightful work. The rifleman taking immense amounts of damage and casualties. And there's a good chance to actually score a wipe here. There we go. Delirious loses an entire route squad here, in large part due to that point blank blast. As always, my advice is, if you see a Stuke coming towards you with veterans in one and a little icon above it, it's probably going to coming forward with a point blank blast, at which point you want to get out of there. Because that ability can absolutely eat up infantry squads if you're not careful. Or if you're, on the other side, lucky. Quick grenade hit, timing it right as they pop into the building. Doing heavy damage to Delirious men. And we got delayed fuse barrages here. Potent ability for sure. Southeast here need repairs. Tiger tank is moments away here. Setting support from the final 4th Schwere Panzerabteilung. Got the captain hiding about here. Feels like you kind of forgotten about him. Machine guns. I know I got an anti-tank from Delirious as well here. So I have 2 anti-tank guns to help deal with any potential armored thrust here from Delirious. As I'm concerned, I could get overrun by like multiple EC8s. Though my field control has actually made it difficult for Delirious to like get a lot of EC8s going here. It is working in my favor. Tiger tank rolling ahead here with its 88mm gun. And takes down half the captain's squad there. His company command team up north here. Grenadiers as the rifle squad. Nearing the east line with these riflemen. These hardened GIs. Still pushing 40. EC8 throwing forward as well here. Shot bounces. Very lucky there for Delirious. Assault engines moving up rifle squad as well. We've got the Tiger tank there moving up behind the riflemen. Definitely not lucky for the riflemen. There you go, 113 just blows up. There's the Tiger tank, fires off an 18mm shell. We got grenade assaults here. Rifleman dodging most of it, but still taking a bit of fragmentation damage here. And Rifle Squad has to retreat right past the Tiger tank. Low on health. Tiger tank hits the tree instead. Close call for Delirious. E-Sit moving forwards again. More pioneers for me to replace the ones I've lost again. And honestly, at this point, I probably should have more infantry out, but I've just been so caught up in other things, I completely forgot about it. Another pioneer team ready here.
Enemy forces have claimed our territory.
EC8 holding up here. Enforcing healing. Rifleman pushing 40, EC8 falling a bit further back here. Shoots the Stug wreckage. And of course, make sure it's utterly wrecked beyond any chance of repairing. Not that I expect Delirious to like try and go for a recovery vehicle to fix it up. Could have done it, but I doubt he would. Got the anti-tank fire at the Tiger tank here, though. Shot 100mm thick frontal armor is rocking off most of the shots. EC8 moving up. Almost got the Ralph squad here. Delirious is frantically trying to make progress, but the German army here is frustrating his attempts quite significantly. Stug is Vetchi too. Backed up with machine gun and the pack onto tank gun, and further up north here, Rifleman making great progress too. EC holding back. And another wave of infantry from the base of the 15th Panzergrenadier Division, or 90th, 3rd Panzergrenadier Company. Typically, a Panzer Division actually would have had a total of 3 battalions, actually regiments of Panzer Grenadiers. Fun fact, they of course basically had 1 in air quotes Panzer Battalion, which is typically made up of Stugs. Fun little fact there. So we got 99 as Athena 2. Delirious has managed to buy himself some more time here. But he's definitely in a bit of a pressure situation. The Tiger tank, of course, is not helping him out here. Now there's a Stugan, of course, the large amount of fairly veteran German troops with assault weapons. There you go. Great shot from the EC8 and the anti-tank, and almost wiping the entire crew here. EC8 taking it from the M1 here, and now the Stugan moving as well here for the kill. North Grenadiers being surrounded by the rifle. We've got the MD42 backing up the Grenadier. Further south here, another push here is succeeding for the German army, and Delirious loses his captain. Tiger tank pushing forward here. Mort's been caught here, bunched up at the Tiger tank. 1 crew is annihilated. Here's the Stug, rolls straight ahead here, crashing right past the anti-tank gun. leaving Delirious positions here further compromised and collapsing like a house of cards in an earthquake zone.
Contact! Capture point is being overrun!
Almost got the anti-tank gun crew here. EC8 running about up north here, fighting for that northern victory point, but meanwhile, as he's focusing there, the rest of his forces are in a very perilous situation as the armored fist of the fatherland keeps heading in.
It's theirs now.
81 was 296 here. Machine gun white could seize it. I think that right now the issue is less the infantry degree, and of course the Tiger tank is the bigger headache here for Delirious.
Falling into enemy hands.
Punch gun they're pushing through in the south here. Heading north with the Tiger, the Grenadiers, and the Sturmgeschütz.
We have 75 points remaining.
Large core caught out in the open here, being pushed back.
The enemy have taken territory.
Nice shot from the EC8 there. Not enough damage though. And the Tiger tank causes more than have to return the favors to. Gets another hit here. Popping Blitzkrieg because I love Blitzkrieg. It's a great ability. Racing after that EC8. I want it kaput, and with that the Tiger tank knocks it out, leaving Delirious now with no tanks. He could soon go for another one, obviously, here. But the situation at this point for the EC8 begs the question, would another EC8 really help him? And I think the answer to that is going to be no. So there you go. GG, well played. Certainly quite an intense fight for me. But yeah, as Delirious points out, the machine gun, of course, did do a lot of work here.
Rifleman down. No survivors.
And again, I do expect them to, like, nerf them. Hopefully in June or at least July. There we go. GG. Game over. Game over. Loss for America, victory for the fatherland here. Definitely a rough start for me, which is partly why I want to highlight that. Still, you know, pull through some quick panzer grenadiers, but again, the machine guns help stabilize. Slowly allow me to turn the game around here. But again, just also really just highlights just how good, like, early Veterans 1 is for the Wehrmacht and the Grenadiers. If you have MP40s, it really, like, adds some value to them. I should have definitely gone for some mechanized assault groups. I think that'd help me out more here versus Delirious, so bit of an oversight here. Plus, you know, I feel like some Tiger Tank action is always nice from time to time. So, hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share. Consider supporting the Propagandacaster by donating or pledging on Patreon. Every bit helps. Links in the description. And this is ImperialDane saying cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.